So the whole point in this video is just to explain and get the point across that adoption and picking up strays have like a bad rap, I guess, but adopting and picking up strays, you end up with almost a custom animal, so to speak, or a pet. You pick a quirky animal. You don't pick what looks best on a shelf. You get an animal that bonds with you because you chose them and brought them into your home. And that's just really important to understand. And another thing I wanted to bring to light is I'm poking fun at my awkwardness because I can't talk seriously in front of a camera. I just lose my words. So enjoy. So this is Aiden. I call him Booby because he's weird. He's probably the worst abused that I have. I originally found him. Please stay here. I originally found him outside of my apartment, and he was about 6 months old, maybe a little younger. But he was just skin draped over bones, and it looked like he had been burnt on his paw, and he has this thing on top of his head. I don't know if you can kind of see it, but nobody can really figure out what it is. The vets don't know if it's like a fungus, if it's a burn, but it's just like a little raised piece of skin, and it hasn't gone away. It's just been here. And he was pretty much on like the verge of death because he had been out on the streets for a little bit, and I guess like a group of teenagers had like found him and his litter mates and thrown rocks at them, kicked them, just hurt them really bad. So he's scared of teenage boys now, which is why he's trying to get away from me right now because Zach's filming. And so he's been getting a little better, but he's still kind of spooked a little bit. But he bonded with me, so if he stays with me, he's alright. But anyway, he also had like a neurological problem where when he would walk, this paw would curl under. And we thought that was permanent, and the vets said that it might be. So we thought we were going to have to put him down because he wouldn't have been able to walk right ever. And yeah, and also he was also born with his umbilical cord inside, so he's got a little scar right here from surgery, from getting that taken out. So he was riddled with problems, and he's scared of everything. Only when like strangers come around, just because he doesn't have a lot of trust for people except for me and my mom. So this is Snoopy. I rescued him from a shelter in Herkimer, and it's not the worst shelter on earth, but it's not the best. So he was stuck in a cage with poop all over. You know, he was walking around in it, sleeping in it. They weren't really doing their job cleaning the cages, and he didn't have food or water. All of his dishes were flipped over. Okay. And he was about 3 months when we got him, and they fixed him, did all that stuff for him, but we had to get his shots, distemper, rabies, all that stuff at the vets, paid for it ourselves. And it ended up he had a tapeworm, which took 3 rounds of antibiotics to get rid of. And his original story is he was surrendered by an animal hoarder who had probably around 20 animals, and his mother wasn't in good condition. So I don't know what happened to her or the rest of his puppies, mates and stuff, but we have this fat lord, and he's warty, he's ugly, he's fat, but it's fine. So if you just adopt from a shelter rather than going to a pet store, which get their animals from puppy mills and all that stuff, you usually end up with more grateful animals, I guess, would be the best way to describe it. because sometimes if you get puppies from pet stores, they end up with worse things than tapeworm, with like multiple sclerosis, really bad behavioral problems due to like inbreeding and all that stuff. Please stop. And yeah, you can end up with something as beautiful as Snoopy.